22 years ago in these fields, the Glastonbury Festival was born. Then it was a pretty low-key affair, attracting a few hundred hippies and travellers. They wanted to rekindle the spirit of Woodstock. In those days, the festival was free, but now it's a multi-million-pound operation, with each ticket costing £50. And because security is so tight, every transaction is marked with a green wristband.
Now, my band is not cut. My mate Mark's band was not cut. He just pulled it off his hand. That's all we want is his band back. We can't afford to pay more money.
Yeah, who's got his band? You got his band.
Yeah. Can you just check the band? Can you just check it? Look, it hasn't been cut. All right, it's stretched. I'm sorry it's been stretched. Look, they pulled it off his wrist.
That may be the one he took off me, mate.
It's been stretched.
That's Mark's.
Yeah, exactly. That may be the one he took off.
You said it's been off his hand. It haven't been cut. It haven't been cut, right? It is cut. Doesn't matter about stretch. I can stretch mine now, and you're going to take it off me.
We have the right.
Yeah, if they've been cut.
Not after being tampered with. It's been stretched.
I know if it's been cut, fair enough. They told us when we come out, if they've been cut off. I'm sorry it's a bit stretched, but he pulled it off his hand.
Yeah, you come a long way. Well, where'd you buy your tickets? From Topsa?
No,
In Edinburgh?
Oh, in Edinburgh.
In Edinburgh, yeah.
Is this going to be called Worthy Henge?
No, it's not a henge. It's a stone circle.
Right.
Stonehenge has got bits on the top. You know that?
I didn't.
No.
The people who came here 20 years ago wouldn't recognise the event now. Those innocent days have been hijacked by drug dealers who've moved onto the site from all over the country. So now a large private security and police presence is required, both in uniform and undercover. The village of Pilton lies next to the festival site, and for most of June was effectively sealed off by the police. From all over the country, groups of travellers came in convoys, moving westwards through Somerset with a single intention of getting into Michael Evans's festival, where they're no longer welcome. 7 years ago, Stonehenge became a no-go area for all the New Age travellers. And for a while, they were allowed to hold an alternative festival on the Pilton site. For a few years, all went well, but in 1990, violence erupted between the travellers and the security guards, and riot police were called in.
There were too many of them in 1990. There were thousands and thousands of them. I mean, they just overran the whole place, and they created anarchy and hatred and bitterness and everything. And we gave them a site, we gave them firewood, we did this and did that. We even gave them a telephone, you know, so we could talk to them about what was going on over there. But you know, it didn't work. You know, they're so bitter and so anarchistic that I decided in 1990 that was the end of the convoy.
This place here is getting as bad as Stonehenge, and it should not be allowed to happen. If he's having a party for hippies and travelling type folk, then he should have it. If he can't put it on for the people that are travellers, then he should have an alternative accommodation, which we're quite happy to accept.
He won't even do that for us.
Well, he said he would do it for us, but, you know, he's just lied.
They caused £50,000 worth of damage. They burnt 5 Land Rovers. And I mean, there's no way that we could possibly take them on again. The ones that are bad, they're really bad. I mean, they beat up people that were asleep here in 1990. And I mean, they're terrible things that you wouldn't expect. In a war condition, you wouldn't expect behaviour like that, would you?
The villagers of Pilton have had to come to terms with the annual invasion of their well-ordered and structured lifestyle. Although the lanes were much quieter this year, there was still a feeling of unease born of previous experiences when festival goers caused disruption in and around the village. At this time, the villagers come together and take it in turns to keep a watchful eye on their beloved church.
Morning. Morning.
Morning. I don't feel like chatting to anybody much.
Don't you?
Because I've had two lads sleeping on the floor all night.
Oh, dear.
Well, they're a relative of mine anyway.
Oh, I see. Well, are they down for the festival, are they? Or
They are,
Are they?
yes. They've
Oh,
got their tickets and they're going down there, but they live at Northwood, you see. So I've got to play along with them.
Any problems so far?
Not no,
No.
because I see you boys in blue and I don't
There
worry
you go,
about
see.
anything.
you must have seen a lot now. I mean, a few festivals, I should think, haven't you?
22.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
Yes, ever since the first one.
Yeah.
And that
Changed a
was the
bit since
flower
then.
power, you see, that was a very different story.
Yeah.
I was telling some coppers, not you, the other day, when I was there and it started, I used to have the girls in and let them go up and have a swill in the bathroom
Yeah.
and all that, but you couldn't risk doing that now.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, you'd have too many. They'd all get onto it. and
Well,
you'd-
yes, and I wouldn't know who's who
No,
any more than
right.
you do.
We'll be around anyway, my love.
Thank you.
That's all right. See you again. Take care. Bye-bye then.
Outside the village, like wasps swarming around a nest, the travellers tried to find a way of getting closer to the Pilton site. Frequently, these old buses and lorries overheat or run out of fuel, causing traffic chaos for miles around. The police are determined to keep the convoy on the move. Lanes have been blocked off and farm gates barricaded to stop an unofficial festival starting up.
No,
You hear
not
the
at the moment.
helicopter?
There's a helicopter going over.
Yes, he's been over all day. Still, that's better, isn't it?
That's right, yes, it's good.
Yes.
They're
Has
keeping
has the
good
hippie
sight.
contingent arrived?
Not as far as I know. I've seen nothing and heard
Well,
nothing.
I've seen them gathering at Glastonbury.
Oh, no, I've come in from Wells, and there's nothing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it's
there.
very quiet that way.
No,
Yes,
no
there's
problem
plenty
getting
of
in
them.
at all. So,
Well, they have been warned, and so maybe the police are keeping them away.
I hope
because,
they will, yes.
Well,
It'd
yes,
be
and
nice
it's
for the
one
festival
element
to go
we
ahead.
don't want. But I gather
That's
there's
right.
absolute thousands down there.
I think there are.
Thank goodness
So-
we haven't seen them in our part of the village this year. And they haven't come through our fields, and they haven't broken down our hedges this year.
Good. Well, long may it
Well,
remain so.
250 police. It's not. It's all. You realise it's one between 4 people in the village.
Oh, gosh. Yes, I
That's
suppose it is.
right, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, keep going that way. Find a lay boat further on. Go on. I'm already on the sleigh boat, but after this sleigh boat, where can we go? I want these vehicles to be off on the carriageway. One sticking out the carriageway. Anybody that doesn't move, arrest for obstruction.
Pilton Manor Vineyard is set right in the heart of the village. The first vines were planted here 800 years ago by the old abbots of Glastonbury. Now, because Michael Eavis has bought up more and more land to accommodate his massive event, the vineyard's border runs right up to the edge of the main festival entrance. The current owner, Jim Dowling, obtained the property 6 years ago when he and his wife Anne changed their lifestyle from the busy world of international computers to the more peaceful craft of producing some of England's finest wines grown on these limestone hills in the Vale of Avalon.
All right, kid. How many more rows have you got? All the packing in done over there. It goes right up.
I think they've
Beyond.
done. They've done that block completely.
I think the security guards had a quiet night. They said there were a lot of people trying to get through in the middle,
Yes, that's right.
and it didn't have any more fires to put out.
In recent years, the vineyard has had its fair share of troubles. But nothing could have prepared Jim and Anne Dowling for the events that took place 2 years ago.
When we bought the house, we were aware, obviously, it was a festival, but we thought, okay, well, that's something we can probably put up with. We then thought it might be quite fun. Well, the reality was different. I suppose what made it worse was that Michael Eavis, in the meantime, had actually bought a further 100 20 acres or thereabouts, land, which was actually adjacent to our land. So that then actually moved the boundary of the festival right next to our land. So that was the difference. When you get large numbers of people in a village, which is basically 1,000 people, and there's no public toilets or anything, they tend to use wherever they can. And our land was very seriously fouled. I mean, there was toilet paper and excreta everywhere. You know, our dogs got covered in it. We had to sort of wash them. People were, there was a stream bordering the land, and there were people using it to wash and do everything in as well. We're fortunate enough to have a swimming pool. That was invaded. The filth that was left in the pool, toilet paper, feces, sanitary towels, condoms. It was really awful. And my wife practically had a nervous breakdown because it was just sort of a total invasion of privacy.
It's a way of life, and we just have to learn to live with it if we live here, really. And it's a shame because, you know, after it's happened, the place looks as though it's been sort of decimated. There's rubbish everywhere, and, you know, there's sort of... but, you know, we tried to stop it and we couldn't, and so I'd say it's a beautiful place to live. So it's, you know, nothing's perfect, is it? And we've just got to, you know, learn to live with it, really.
Very intelligent bulletins.
Light refreshment.
The Pilton site itself up here on the top right. This is the Roman Way site just outside of Glastonbury. And just down here was a site where most of you will remember that last night at Boroughbridge we actually moved and followed a whole convoy of vehicles of about some 130 to 150 down to that site. They bedded themselves down there for the night, where they remained until early hours of this morning. It was then that the Roman Way site up here at Glastonbury decided to move. Some 30-plus vehicles moved down to join the convoy during the mid-morning, and that increased it to some 180 to 200 vehicles. And there was a small influx during the course of the early afternoon. What happened next was that shortly after 2:30, the convoy decided to start to move.
Driving round and round the lanes of Somerset, being constantly moved on by the police, angered the travellers, who believed even at this late stage, Michael Eavis would change his mind and give them some land where they could park their buses and vans. By now, a number of old vehicles had run out of fuel, and one last attempt was made to get in.
We're going to get in now, one way or the other. Just stay here.
Yeah, from 724, he's out of range of vehicle. I'm calling across if you want to speak to him. 724.
Well, we've got this for us, so we might as well stay here and get in there tomorrow. I'm not giving up now. I've got this for, I'm going to get in now one way or the other.
So what are they doing? What's the plan?
The chief there just told me that they're towing away old vehicles that aren't roadworthy, also vehicles that are left with no drivers, they've got to be towed in. They're going to take them to the pound up at the Bath West Showground.
They haven't stopped any and looked at them yet, have they?
And they're going to confiscate those aren't roadworthy, give them 21 days to collect them and put them right.
Well, we shall see. Because I don't see them this lot isn't going to just disappear. We shall get a bit more aggravation yet.
Yeah. And they're going to come back down again. That's all they do.
I can't make it out. I mean, they've got a helicopter up there, and there's all people saying that, you know, they were monitoring on an hourly basis. There's no way that we're going to get near the site. And all of a sudden, there's 60 or 70 vehicles here.
There must be more
crazy.
than that. There's literally thousands of travellers.
happening over here, aren't you?
Where's the helicopter gone? That's suspicious. It's landed in the field. Yeah, of course it has. They've got loads of all built down there for just such an occasion.
They're bringing them all out now, look.
We just want somewhere to park up. They've been waiting all day for time, you know what I mean? We're not provoking trouble, and you guys know it.
It's all a matter of how you're feeling here. You know, how does it feel?
Why don't you leave us there then? What are you into? You're into trashing us, are you? Is that what you're into, is it? Is it? What are you putting them on for? Use it.
You hard man, you got living clubs. Why you stood there? You stood there for money? Wanker.
Michael Eavis was determined to keep the convoy out at all costs. Another riot by travellers would sound the death knell for the Glastonbury Festival. So, to defuse the conflict outside, he offered money for diesel to get the vehicles on the move.
We'll tow anything that breaks down to where it's going.
Yeah.
But until we see how far that is, that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
Do you think that's going to
We've
work?
made that clear that there is nothing more on offer.
Mm.
Yeah. And I think that has to stop.
Well, I mean, it's a fair offer, isn't it?
I think so.
But yeah.
I don't think. I think Glastonbury Festival has actually, gone over its way to be fair on this.
Yeah. Did you realise it came from us?
Yes, I mean,
you made that clear.
Yes, I made it clear that we have an interest in actually, not having problems with our gates. And if folk can arrange something that they'd like to do, then
so is Roy going to tow them away somewhere?
Yes, we've got 2 recovery vehicles out on the road that will recover anything that breaks down. And we've said that those recovery vehicles will stay with them until they reach their destination, wherever that is.
Yeah, I see. Are there leaders at Sensible there?
It's a mixture.
Yeah, are they fairly reasonable kids?
I think they would like to know there was somewhere that they could go to.
Well, there isn't, is there?
We can't, well, I mean, they obviously don't know that at this point, yeah?
There are places you can go all around the country at the moment. The fact is, what you want to do is go on the Pilton site. Mr. Eavis says you're not going on the site.
It's his land. He's the guy that initially said, I'm not having any travellers at
Mr. Eavis has said, and that's why it's a girl again, that you're not going in.
And then he changed his mind. He said publicly that he would make available 3 or 4 fields for travellers, 2 or 3
well,
miles
he has
away
never,
from the main site.
certainly he's never told us
Well,
that.
we'll show you. Flyer, man. It's made. That's why there's so many people here. Look at it.
Look, whether you're all right at this point or not, you're going to have to take that up with Mr. Eavis. At the moment,
Why don't you use your resources to help us? Why?
Why should I put pressure on Mr. Eavis?
Why should you put pressure on us?
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm not putting pressure.
Oh, come on. Move now, or you're going to get all your vehicles moved on. So what, that isn't pressure? That's not pressure.
That is because you're obstructing the highway, which is a power I've got to deal with. I cannot speak to Mr. Eavis because that's got nothing to do with me.
We're obstructing the road. Where do we go then?
We need somewhere to go.
If you go to a site and you want to walk in and speak to Mr. Eavis, then you'll get no hassle from us because your vehicles won't be on the road.
You're still not answering us.
Okay.
Why don't you use all those phenomenal resources that you've got and the technology to help families in their vehicles here? Yeah. Okay, right. Pull out all the emotional shit. Kids, yeah. Families, vehicles, homes. Why don't you use the resources that you've used to stop us, to help us?
I'm just
go and phone up
just
Mr.
make concerned that you want help
on?
all on the line.
No.
When are you going to help
we
yourselves?
help ourselves. We do help ourselves.
Super.
Look.
Super.
Look.
Yeah, all what I see is a massive convoy of vehicles, most of which are probably not fit to be on the road. That's what I'm looking at. Now, you look at something else, but that's my perception.
What?
There's no travellers here this year, there's no let them in. This song is dedicated to all the people that couldn't get in for some stupid reason. This happened 7 years ago, it's called Battle of the Beanfield.
Calling me, seen the pictures on TV, and I made up my mind that I'd go and see with my own eyes. Didn't take too long to catch a ride, but a guy going south to start a new life. Past the place where my friend died 2 years ago. Down a 2-year-old day at the end of the road. Flashing lights and exclusions on. And everything, it's not just the stars that they got it. Hey, I got you say, there's nothing else you can cover than getting that cake set up without you and me.
We just want to go somewhere!
This year there was no Stonehenge and no Glastonbury Festival for the travellers. A massive police operation costing hundreds of thousands of pounds saw to that. Eventually the convoys were dispersed into small groups. One of them went south and came to a grinding halt on a dual carriageway at the Somerset-Devon border, where the police made several arrests.
Move it!
Like Alma Cogan, she were good. She were pretty good, and there was one used to sing for Henry Hall. What were her name?
Who? Oh, Kathy Kay.
Kathy Kay. She was a lovely singer. There were one or two lovely singers. And there's Myra Anderson, a lovely singer. But I don't like this modern stuff where they shout too much, you know, there's too much horror. You want some cotton wool in your ears, and you know.
Oh, I used to like Albert Sandler and his Pound Court Orchestra.
Oh,
that were a long time ago.
That was good.
Or Max Jaffa.
Yeah.
Because I liked the violin music. I used to play the violin, and I liked the violin.
But when you would hear how they do today, you holler and shout too much, you know, the pretty off music.
I mean, this was their sort of attitude was very similar as it was 2 years ago. You know, just let us get in. Why is Mr. Edith keeping us out?
I think, unfortunately, England is too small to have such a large travelling community, really. I think that's the problem. We're too built up, really, aren't we?
All the travellers were down West Compton.
What's that?
Travellers were down West Compton. They've moved up on the top of...
Yeah, the police hooked them out last night and turned them up on the top roll.